Put them on with some just in case.
I guess it's safe to try them there at the bathhouse.
That is what I wanted. Place else to go.
I thought it was a 50.
That looks it is. Keys. Tag. What on earth did you...
When I was with some others, destroyed us later among the
Somebody... Oh, Derek, you can't kill Spark.
Daddy, I'm
See who did it, Derek.
They are gone. Only I.
But, Stan, Spark... Take me to where it happened.
with you.
We'll see you later.
Well, just down below. If you're looking for me, you and Betty over to the Woodward. Why don't you go on over? They'd be glad to have you.
Yes. Do I go there?
Woodwards are straight miles apart. Across the block down it. Where you fellas like yours be secret, eh? It doesn't matter where he's from either. Don't let me keep you. See him.
Derek? Holmes, very long time.
It was among metal inscription.
I know he must have fell off that.
Greetings, Earthlings. Today we're taking a journey into one of the most hilariously ambitious sci-fi B-movies ever made, Teenagers from Outer Space. A film so bad, it transcends its flaws and becomes a work of accidental genius. This is part of a new series where I'll review bad movies that are in the public domain. At the end of this video review, I'll even include the movie so that you can watch it for yourself. So grab your popcorn, keep an eye out for giant lobsters, and let's dive into the madness. And here we are. Our alien teens arrive in style. Or, well, what passed for style on a $14,000 budget. Just to give you a reference, the average budget for a Hollywood movie in 1959, when this one was released, was $300,000. That spaceship? It's a model, probably dangling from fishing wire. But hey, it's shiny, so who's complaining? Fun fact, this movie was directed by Tom Greff, who also wrote, edited, produced, and even acted in it. A true one-man filmmaking army. The teenagers, who don't look much like teenagers to me, landed on planet Earth so that they can raise the mighty Gargan beast. What is the Gargan, you may ask?
Surface readings register above minimum requirements. Morrow, go below and bring up the young Gargan specimen.
It's an alien creature so fearsome, it's clearly a lobster. Now, I love lobster as much as the next person, but only when it's drenched in butter, not terrorizing small towns. Behind the scenes, the crew used live lobsters and tried to make them look giant by superimposing their footage over landscapes. A plus for effort, but all I see is dinner. But we'll get to the giant Gargon later in the movie. It's amazing. Let's watch the next scene together. Rest in peace, Sparky. The disintegration ray strikes again. Want to know the secret behind this terrifying weapon? It's literally a flashlight. Yep, they added a skeleton prop afterward to sell the effect. I mean, it's tragic for Sparky, but comedy gold for us. This sets off the plot. Derek, the alien protagonist with a heart of gold, feels bad about Sparky's death, and with its dog tag, eventually finds its home. There, he meets Betty and her grandfather, who is renting a room.
Come on, it's still here.
He's probably still out chasing gophers.
Hello. You've come to see our room for rent?
What's that?
A fellow to see the room for rent, Grandpa. You show it to him, will you? Joe'll be by for me in a minute. We're going swimming at Alice's and I haven't even changed yet. Well, come on in.
Meanwhile, Thor, the main antagonist, is looking for Derek in order to bring him back home and basically court-martial him. Now, Thor is zap crazy. Here's a quick montage of everyone Thor zaps. Every victim conveniently leaves behind a skeleton that looks freshly unboxed from Spirit Halloween. And in fact, this skeleton was a cheap Halloween prop that kept being reused over and over again. Now, Betty and Derek just met, but they obviously love each other immediately, as one does. Betty's lines are peak 1950s melodrama.
Care where you're from. I don't understand all this, but somehow I feel that I've always known you. That we've never been apart.
Let us go to the professor you speak of.
You're not from this world, are you?
You're not from around here, are you? No, Betty, he's not. He's from outer space. Subtlety isn't this movie's strong suit, but bless its heart for trying. This also brings one of the best lines in the history of cinema.
I shall make the earth my home.
Yes, you shall, Derek. Yes, you shall. Okay, but let's go back to Derek and Betty on the run. We're in full chase mode. Derek and Betty are dodging Thor, who's determined to bring Derek back or just vaporize him. This is where the movie shows its love for scenic California backdrops. Fun fact, many of these scenes were filmed in Tom Graff's own neighborhood. Talk about saving on location costs. The lobster is loose. Finally, we see the Gargan in action. Well, sort of. The editing makes it hard to tell if it's terrorizing the town or just wandering around looking for kelp.
It seems to have some kind of weapon, but it's not doing anything.
If only there were more power, Betty!
Is there any way to generate more power? We've got to have more!
I could join in more circuits, but it may blow up the line.
Try anything! It's our only chance!
The filmmakers probably thought, why spend money on effects when we can just confuse the audience? Derek officially earns his rebel status here, standing up to his alien overlords. He's basically Space James Dean. If this movie had a higher budget, I bet there'd be a motorcycle chase right about now. Moving on. This is it. The big finale. Derek takes down the alien fleet in a blaze of glory, proving that even a teenager from outer space can save the day. It's melodramatic, overacted, and absolutely perfect. You've got to admire the sheer commitment to making this feel epic, even with a budget smaller than a middle school play. This final scene is the best. Derek appears in the cloud, or his ghost, or is it Betty's imagination? Who cares? Nothing matters.
I shall make the earth my home, and I shall never, never leave it.
And there you have it, Teenagers from Outer Space. This movie is everything I love about 1950s sci-fi. Wild ideas, low-budget charm, and enough skeletons to fill a Halloween store. Sure, it's flawed, but that's what makes it so endearing. It's a reminder that creativity doesn't need big budgets, just big dreams, and maybe a lobster or two. Thanks for joining me on this intergalactic adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with your favorite scene or trivia tidbit. Please make this YouTube channel your home. Do it in memory of Derek. And as promised, the whole movie is next. Enjoy.
Dr. Mason! Dr. Mason!
I'm sorry. I guess it was nothing. A sudden light reflection. It startled me. There's no doubt a comet or a meteor. No, it seemed to be a drill-shaped thing. Revolving. No, it must have been my imagination. But it makes me realize how desperately alone the Earth is. Hanging in space like a speck of food floating in the ocean. Sooner or later to be swallowed up by some creature floating by. Oh, come now. Time will tell, Dr. Mason. We can only wait and wonder. Wonder how. Wonder when.
Report preliminary findings. Thor reporting. 42 saturation degrees and 96 volumes. Intermediate fluctuation in Marfan content.
Derek reporting. Tridex mixer components ratio exceeding 7 to 1.4.
Moore reporting. Diagonal adjustment reading resisting structural forms by 2.8.0 vernums.
Saul reporting. Uneven cartoid levels intersect planes below .03.
Surface readings register above minimum requirements. Morrow, go below and bring up the young Gargan specimen. Now the decision depends on its reactions.
Wait, Captain. I have found evidence of intelligent beings on this planet.
Of what concern are foreign beings?
Of none to you, Thor. Just as you were so unconcerned when you destroyed the small creature. So bravely.
It was no more than an insect.
But it had life. And that life you had to take to satisfy your endless hunger for killing.
Silence, both of you. Proceed, bring the Gargan.
That will not be necessary, Captain.